Ready to go.
There we are. Okay, I think we're up. Sorry about that, everybody. A few technical difficulties. Can you check that that's live now?
Yeah, it should take a minute. Hold on. You're definitely live.
We are. Good, good.
No, I mean, you're definitely live your end.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, okay. Give it a second. Not yet.
Oh, have you checked it? Are we live or?
No, I don't think we're live yet. No, it usually pops up by now.
Oh yeah, there we are. For me, we've come up.
Oh, have you? Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
we're
I
up
just
for me.
refresh.
I'm on my thingy.
Back. Oh, yes, we are there.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got you.
Right, nice one. Right, we can finally get started. Sorry about that, everybody. If you listen, in the Discord and stuff. Welcome to the water bending class. This was going to be just a basics class, but I can see and having a look around that we don't have many new players, but we will still go over all the all the basic stuff and basic routines. As you can see, obviously we've got PrinceKiki here to help. He'll be assisting me as he knows a lot more about me. Do you want to talk through a few moves first, Kiki?
Kiki, talk. I don't think you can talk. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, it's Kiki. Kiki is in the chat. Oh, that's how. Right. Scroll down to the bottom. Right. Stream host. There you go. You can now call Kiki. Supposedly.
So first of all, if you all want to do /B space copy, and then either put my name in or Prince Kiki's, and then click enter, we will then be running through these moves in today's lesson.
Yes, these are the beginner moves for the beginner preset that I have made.
Fab.
My binds are it. Anyways, does everybody have the moves now? Because we're going to start right at number 1, and that is Healing Waters. So Healing Waters, really all you do is you get in the water after you've taken damage, and most of the time it'll just start healing you. Sometimes you need to press shift and it'll start healing you, but
So this is a good one if you ever have time in a fight and stuff. You need to heal quickly, jump in the water, and it can heal yourself.
Indeed. If your spout keeps getting broken.
And for the viewers watching, what's the warp so everyone can join in?
Ah, yes, /warp class.
Perfect.
That is how you get here. But yeah, Healing Waters is good. If somebody is cutting your spout, which we'll get to in a minute, spout is how a lot of waterbenders fight. If somebody's cutting it a bunch and you keep going underwater, you can use Healing Waters really quickly and get a quick little heal boost. Come back up, start fighting again, and be in a better position than you were. And yes, you can use it against Wolf, and he'll get mad. So if that's what you're into, and
Right, do you want to move on to the next one? And then I'll do a few after that.
yeah. So next we have Water Bubble. And Water Bubble is pretty multifunctional. It's used in a few combos, which we'll get to later. But for now, the main use is it's just a bubble. It creates an air bubble around you. So if you're stuck underwater and you need to breathe, or if you're fighting somebody on a spout and you want to just be annoying and keep breaking their spout, you could do that too. It's pretty neat. You can find uses for it. And we'll get into the combos a little bit later.
Yeah, all of these moves, you know, you might not, because there are definitely other moves, so you might not even use these after the lesson and stuff, but we're just going to go through these because these are the basic ones. We'll move on to the next one then, which is the third one, which is, as you can see, called water arms. So if everybody wants to tap crouch on water arms, it will then kind of bring up these arms of water, and there are different abilities inside the water arm. So if you punch with pull, it will, and if you grab someone in the distance, it will then pull people to you, and then you can start using their second ability, which is punch. So you could pull and then punch together. Sooner or later, it will run out, so you're going to have to use it quick, and then it has a 20-second cooldown.
The best way to use it is to not spam everything all at once, or it'll run out rather quickly. If you kind of space out the amount of like grabs, the amount of punches that you're doing, you can manage it a lot better and get way more use out of it.
Is grab actually useful? It can be, if you use it right.
It can be. I don't use grab.
Yeah.
But I know some waterbenders that do. And then also freeze. You can't use freeze unless you're an ice bender.
Yeah.
So
we'll move on to them later on, all the sub-elements.
Grapple is going to be used for mobility. I can't really show you. Well, I guess I just did. But just lets you skedaddle across surfaces.
So if you need to run away, quickly heal, or if you see someone charging at you, an earthbender about you, shockwave, you can quickly use the water arms and grapple away.
Get out of the way, yep.
Yeah, and get a different vantage point on that.
So a good way to think about it is punch is your close range attack. You have grapple for mobility. You have pull to bring people to you, bring people into your close range. And then spear is your long range attack, and it's also how you get rid of the arms.
Yeah.
And you get 2 blasts with spear. And grapple will run out just by using it, or if you don't click everything and you just keep spam clicking, it will eventually run out.
And if you use those 3, do they each have a cooldown, or is water arms as a total move have a cooldown?
Water arms as a total move has a cooldown, but then each of the sub abilities within water arms has a certain set amount of uses before it will run out.
Right. And which one is your favorite out of the 3?
Probably grapple.
Yeah, I've got to say grapple too. You can do some really fun things
I like
with grapple.
moving. Yeah.
The mobility is just.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we said, or as Kiki said, freeze, you can only really use it as an ice bender. So if you go onto it, as you can see here, the water then turns into ice, and if you shoot it, it then goes a decent, far away, a decent distance, and actually slows your opponent down.
Feel free to leave questions in
it won't do damage
or the YouTube chat, and we'll get to them later.
Yeah.
And we'll probably do a question time.
Yes. Any questions are welcome.
Someone's asked in the YouTube chat, did punch do damage when water arms leveled up? Because when it's low damage, it feels useless.
From Joe.
Yeah. So they're just asking, does it do more damage the more you level it up?
It won't really do any significant damage. The punch won't. The main damage for water arms is going to come from the spear. The punch is very good for keeping somebody away if they're like running at you, for instance, a chi blocker or even a firebender that's rushing you. You can punch them away. They'll take damage. They'll get knocked back. It's like a little stun lock, which if anybody's fought a firebender, stun locking kind of it hurts, and it's very useful.
Yeah.
So it's really a way to just keep your opponent at bay. It won't do too much damage, but the little bit of damage that it does do, it adds up with your other combos.
Alright, nice one. Everybody think they've now mastered water arms. We'll then go on to whip. Whip is quite a close ranged, maybe medium ranged attack. and its main use is to knock people back. So if you're against a chi bender especially, it's good to use this move. So if I use it on Kiki, and then I don't have any water bottles. But if you
I got you.
thank you very much. See, actually, we should probably have said that as a waterbender. You can just source from a water, the lake or a river, or anything, any water source. But you can also carry around bottles of water, and carrying around the bottles of water probably is better for a beginner, so you're not focusing on sourcing. So then you can use waterbending anywhere you are. But make sure to refill them, definitely. You don't want to run out of water. So now, if I use whip on Kiki, it sends him flying back. So it's good for knockback use and keeping the people away from you.
Yes.
So to do that,
And it's
everybody
also...
just hold crouch and then simply punch. So if you want to try that, try not to hit each other maybe. Wait, do they all have water bottles actually? I don't think they do they?
They do now.
Dr. Gale, here's your water bottle.
Alright, I want to see a
So you've already
perfect whip. Chayurka.
There you go.
Chirka.
Oh,
Hello.
I think it fell stick.
I don't think they're listening. Hello, Invisi.
There
Are
you
you
go.
listening? Jump twice if you're listening. Alright, show me whip. I want to see it perfect. Oh yeah, that was good. Nice job.
You've got bottles. Alright, I think
Snail.
everybody's got bottles now.
Nice. Nice job, Oryx. Lokia, let me see it. Lokia, what? Whip. Demonstrate your... Ah, nice. Very good. Chris, let me see it.
Also, by the way, with whip, it doesn't always... A lot of the time, it doesn't refill from the bottle. So if you're using a lot of whips, you're then going to slowly and eventually run out of water. So you got to make sure you're replenishing your water in your bottles.
Good job, Chris. I'm proud of you. That
Well
was
done,
really,
everybody.
really good. Nice job.
Maybe a test on Monday.
Stick, let me see it. Stick, show me whip. What? What?
Pon, can you find a platform,
You
please?
whipped out a person.
If you're so.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
B now, show me whip. Let me see it. Nice job. That was very clean, everybody. I'm very proud. I can tell you've learned a lot from this lesson so far.
Well done.
This is going great.
Right, do you want to move to the next one? Do you want to take it away?
Yeah. All right. Next is Surge. Surge is Surge is it's a move. Holy
Whoa.
yeah. So Surge is a move. It has a few different uses. Okay, so you can with bottles you can click and it'll send a wave out. It's very good for knockback. It pushes people back. It's good for keeping people at bay.
Yeah.
But then you can also hold shift and you get a little shield. The shield blocks a lot of things. And if you're an ice bender, you can then
You can
click the
turn it
shield,
to ice.
turn it into ice.
So it's a
Yes.
lot helpful. It basically blocks everything.
And
So
how
it's
do you
The
very,
ice
very
shield
how do you
helpful.
turn it into ice from the surge?
So when you are using Surge, you'll be holding shift or whatever button you've got to crouch, and then you'll punch. And as soon as you punch just once, it'll then turn into ice.
And is that on the same move? Is that using surge? You just click?
But
or
yep,
do
that
you
is
have to
still
go-
Surge. It's all
Okay.
Surge is all one move. You just simply crouch and then punch. It will run out sooner or later. So if you literally just hold crouch and you just stay there, it will run out sooner or later. And then it has a cooldown of 4 seconds, I believe. So you will have to wait then 4 seconds out before you use it again.
And what you want to remember with Surge is it's a little weird with sourcing. So if sometimes when you
Yeah.
try to hold a shield, instead it'll think you're trying to source a blast from the water. Because the way you source a blast with Surge is you would ship the water and then you would click to send it. So you just want to make sure you're looking away from the water when you hold shift with bottles to make your surge shield.
Nice one. Everybody
So
think
that's
they've got
advanced.
surge down? You all seem like you're doing quite
Beginner
well.
stuff. One more thing with surge is it's used for fall damage. If you look behind you at the land, if I get thrown up in the air like so, I can use surge to soften my landing, and I don't take any damage. It's very nice.
It's very, very helpful.
So you can use surge to block your fall damage.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Can.
Is that all fall damage, or is that just a little bit fall damage?
It is
You completely
all
block
fall
everything.
damage. Well,
Right.
sometimes it'll just say no, and it just
If you
won't
land
work.
like half
But
of it blocks
most of the times
yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you land flat on a flat surface, it will 100% not deal any fall damage to you as long as you have it underneath you.
Right.
Indeed. Indubitably.
And then, so if we move to the next one now, you're all doing water arms and surges. You're all doing quite well. Octopus form is simply if you hold shift or again crouch as whatever button you have, it will then form an octopus type thing around you. This isn't mega useful, but it's mainly used for a combo. But if someone does come near you, say a chi blocker, you can quickly use octopus form, and if they come into you, you then punch, it knocks them away. It knocks them back quite far. Look at that.
And if you level it up, it'll be pretty big. It can get pretty big.
And then again, for that, all you simply do is hold your crouch button, and then when someone comes in your vicinity of the octopus form, you then just punch, and then it'll send people away. So it's a nice and simple one, that. As well, if you are an ice bender, I don't think it works with any others, does it? If you're an ice bender and you use octopus form, as you just saw someone do it then creates ice underneath you, so you can travel, along the water like that.
It actually works for any sub-element.
Yeah, does it?
Of water.
There we are.
Alright,
so
next
is...
Yeah, next let's move on to Torrent, because you guys are looking like masters already.
I know.
This is
It's
crazy.
supposed to be a
We are
basics,
such
a
good
new
teachers.
beginner's class, but you're all doing very well.
I mean, we're teaching too good.
I know, it must be.
Alright, so Torrent, I'm going to show you how to... Alright, so okay. For Torrent, what you want to do is, if you have bottles, you just hold shift, wait for the water to form around you, and then you can click and send the blast. Alternatively, if you are ice, you can click again after you have sent the blast to freeze it when it makes contact with something. A player or the ground. You can make a little ice dome, which you can source from, which is more advanced. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
And then the other way you can use Torrent is you can wait for the water to form around you, and you can release shift for like a little AoE wave.
Yeah, it's quite good that if you let go of shift, because if anybody comes near you, you can use it and it just sends people absolutely flying. So it gives you space to heal and think about what you want to do next. Wow.
That is
a bit of a big
absolutely
wave.
Lovely.
You've sent the students absolutely everywhere.
Where are the kids?
I know, innit? Where's everybody gone?
And for those wondering why Chris is it's because he's messing around with some naughty commands, and he has level 50 moves rather than the standard ones.
Level 50.
Indeed.
Always best blame Chris.
So yeah,
Indeed.
and
if you find yourself without bottles and you want to use Torrent, what you need to do is you need to find a water source. That can be ice, snow, if you're an ice bender, or just any water, and click first in the water before you hold shift, and that will source the torrent from wherever you feel the need to source from.
Welcome, Private Funny, to the class.
Hello,
If you want to find
welcome
a
to the
platform,
class.
if you're staying, find a platform. Thank you very much. Someone asked again, Joanne, what level is your octopus form? Mine's only level 1.
Mine's level 8.
Is it a recent thing, the leveling? I swear it's never always had leveling.
It is. It just came with this
Yeah,
last
I
update.
thought so.
And
That's why mine's only level 1.
yeah, all the changes. Yeah, the duration grows so you can hold it up longer, and the size of it grows, so it looks big and swole, yoked, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Torrent.
I think we'll be able to water manipulation.
Yes, water manipulation.
Very, very helpful, this one. You can either just punch, if you're all going to water manipulation. You can do it sourcing or with a bottle. With bottles, you can just punch, and it'll just send out a singular block of water. It's quite good for just kind of spamming it, or if people are close to you. And if you want to source it from the water, or a source of water, you just tap the water with crouch and then punch. And wherever you
look, the blast will come from there.
Yeah, and wherever you look, the water will go to.
Indeed.
And if
now
you
this
keep
is
on punching,
your
it'll
basic
change the
attack.
direction.
Yeah.
This is the
and this is your
basic attack you can have.
This is what this is a really good move to fill between like all of your other attacks. So if you're using Torrent and then water manipulation and then whip and then water manipulation again, and then you can do a combo and then water manipulation again. Because of how low the cooldown is, it's very easy to use it to fill between attacks.
Yeah.
And just keep constant damage and pressure on your opponents. And I'm gonna deny that. Sorry, because people can poke me, I just can't have friends. You know what I mean?
I've just received a friend request. I can't be. I'm on the job right now. I can't accept your friend request. I'm on the job.
And then as you can probably see, some people are able to
use multiple at one
with
time.
control. You can use multiple at once. You can send multiple manipulations at once. Now, to be honest, it doesn't really do much in PvP. I'm going to be real. It will still only hit once, no matter how many. Yes, but it looks very cool.
Nice.
It's very fancy.
Yeah.
And if you can do it during a fight, you get style points, which, in my opinion, is better than anything. Because you just want to, I mean, if you look good while fighting, who cares if you lose, right?
Yeah.
Let's start out.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's water manipulation in a nutshell. And I want to point out also that sourcing it is a little bit faster than sending it from your bottles.
And
so
is that the case with all water moves? That sourcing is? Would you say that sourcing is always better than using bottles?
No.
I would say mostly for manipulation. For Torrent, it's actually slower.
Yeah, Torrent's a bit awkward.
Using your bottles.
Like when you're fighting, if you punch and then hold crouch, it takes that time from where you punched all the way to to come to you for it to actually then form. So that could be the time it takes for for you to lose that fight then. So Torrent
redirecting manips. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's fine.
But
Don't worry.
I got excited. Redirecting manips. That's a good question. Okay, so with water manipulation, if you have it at a high enough level, you can probably see that if you keep clicking and move your cursor around, your manipulation will follow your cursor, and you can redirect it. And that's the same with other people's manipulations. So if somebody else sends a manipulation at you, and you're faster than them, you can click them.
Yeah. You might kind of cut out them, but yeah, so you can literally, if someone is using
their manipulation and send it back at them.
Yeah.
And it's very useful. I went silence.
Yeah,
Oh,
you might kind of cut out then for a second, but we heard basically
oh,
what you needed to say.
yeah, my bad.
It's fine.
Yeah, very useful for redirecting people's blasts back at you.
Yeah.
Keeping damage off you. It's very
And
nice.
if you keep on punching, it will change direction. As you can see, other people using it right now. If you just keep on punching, it'll change direction. So if you send it out, but then somebody runs away to it, like runs away a little bit, you can then punch again, and it will change direction to make sure that you hit them. Right, do you want to move on to the last one now?
Yes, you guys are all pros already.
Oh no,
This is
look at
crazy.
them all. You got a person over here creating flipping ice castles.
I take credit for all of your success in the future. Okay, water spout. Water spout. Water spout is probably, I'd say it's pretty essential
Yeah,
in a waterbender's preset.
it brings a lot of mobility.
There's two different functions. Yeah, there's two different functions to it, and I'll show you the mobility first. What you want to do is click the water, and then hold shift, and you'll see a ring of water form around you.
Oh, your mic's coming again.
And when you release shift, you'll basically just ride on a giant wave. I'm sorry, you'll ride on a giant wave, and it's real gnarly. It's tubular.
Kiki, your internet is incredibly
Yeah.
dodgy at the moment. Would you mind? Chopper? Can you just sort of fill in?
I'll basically go through that again. It's very good for mobility, getting around. If someone's chasing you down, you can kind of swing and do rings around them and kind of come back and attack them again. If you're losing a lot of damage, you can quickly use it and get away from them. Re-heal and go back and fight again. And just to do that, like Kiki said, you punch any water source. You can't use water bottles for this. You have to use a water source. So you just simply go on a water source, punch, and then hold crouch, and then let go. You only have to hold crouch for literally a second as soon as you see that ring around you, and then let go, and then you'll do a nice little water wave type thing. So it brings a lot of mobility to the asset. Is Kiki back yet?
Am I back?
Hey,
Is it better?
it's a lot better now, yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to redeem yourself
okay,
and go for the second function?
Yeah, I'll try. Well, I'm actually gonna go for, before we do the spout, I'm gonna do fast swim.
Yeah.
So if you're in
Okay.
the water,
Yeah.
and oops, oh no. If you're in the water and you hold shift, you can swim around real fast. I don't know if y'all heard that, but
Yeah, it's kind of cutting out again, but yeah. So if you literally just go in again, any water, you hold your crouch button on water spout. Nothing else, just hold your crouch button. It will swim very, very quickly. So again, water spout is all about mobility, really. So if you see a nice long river next to you, you can use it. Get yourself in the water, hold crouch, and then you can kind of just swim away very, very quickly, if needs be. Or if you want to quickly get back up on a platform or anything, you can just tap it, kind of, and then it brings you back up.
Children, back to your platforms, please. This is your headmaster speaking. Back to your platforms now. Well done.
Who was that? Was that?
What? No, not me.
Was that? It took me a second to think of that one. Thank you, everybody, for getting back on your platforms. Thank you very much.
I'd like to scare you once in a while.
So yeah, we've gone through them all, and they're really the basic moves to basically any asset you would want. If you are going to be a waterbender, these are probably the moves you would want. The main moves, you probably wouldn't really use water bubble, but healing waters, you could use that. I personally don't, but it can definitely be used. I know other waterbenders that use it, but then the top two, healing waters and water bubble, probably wouldn't you probably wouldn't really use it, to be honest. But the rest, completely fine, and you should probably definitely use them. Kiki, you alive? Do you wanna say anything or chat anything? Any more little?
If my internet will allow me to.
We can
Water
hear you.
bubble is okay. Bet. Well, do you wanna? I don't have anything to say. I don't.
Neither. Do you want to go through any tips, or move on to any advanced stuff like the combos, or save that for another class if we do that?
Are we doing sub elements or are we?
Oh,
We can do
yeah, of
combos or
course.
sub
Yeah,
elements.
no,
Whatever you want.
we'll do some sub-element stuff then, yeah?
Okay.
So, as well as water
start that for a
bending, there are also different forms of water bending, such as plant, blood, and ice. We've already touched on a little bit of ice so far, but there are definitely more things to that, as well as the other two elements, or sub-elements. Which one do you want to move on to? You pick.
All right, let's go to ice first.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest.
We'll just run through it real quick.
Yeah. If you
Change real quick.
If you haven't already, make sure you are an ice bender. So you can simply do that by putting in the chat / element space ice and then click enter, and it will turn you into an ice bender.
You.
For real.
Or you can just do /
Okay.
KLE and use the lovely browser that we have to choose ice.
Yeah.
I have a preset. Kind of. There's only 2 moves in it, but it's really the only 2 moves you need. So if you want to copy me, you can copy my moves. And I think they would be probably the 2 most used.
Yeah.
Well, actually, here I'll add 2 more.
Or frost breath and
Ice wall.
Yeah. So ice entails, I mean, it's quite obvious what it entails, but you can simply turn any water source really into ice with certain moves. So you can see other people have used it. Phase change is the first move, and if you just punch the water, and again any water source, if you punch it, it'll then make ice, and then you can obviously walk along it. You just simply tap.
And with the passive that you get from ice, you actually get a speed boost while you are walking on ice blocks. So that's really good. It's a very nice buff. Can just be super fast while you fight. So that's phase change, to freeze the water with clicking, and then you can melt it by holding shift.
Yeah. If you all now if you hold your crouch button, it then gets away and takes away all of the ice around you.
So once you have your field of ice set up, right, you can, we'll move on to Ice Spike. And Ice Spike is pretty good. You can just spam the little field you have with spikes, make it hard for other people to walk on the ice, or you can use it as a blast. So
if anybody ever goes in your lake and you throws it over, show them a bit of Ice Spike.
This is beautiful. I love what I'm seeing here.
I know. I mean, we do have a combustion bender for some reason in our water bending class.
It happens.
And an air bender, but yeah.
Stay away. Can't stay away. So,
Oh, I'm an air bender.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I mean you're okay. You're just kind of chilling there.
So in case you don't know how to do the spikes, you basically just spam click on an ice bendable surface, and then if you want to shoot like a blast of ice, you shift on an ice bendable surface and then click where you want to shoot it. And Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. Well, they're all, none of the moves are really too hard. Like they're all quite simple, but they're all quite, they're quite effective. So all you're really doing for the moves, and this isn't really just for waterbending, but all you're doing is just either punching or shift and then punch. So it's not too difficult to get the hang of it to understand.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. When y'all are ready, we can move on to
Yeah.
Frost Breath real quick.
If you want to go back to your platforms again, please, and
Back to your platform.
have some order.
Master speaking.
Thank you, Knox.
You're welcome. Why I'm doing this accent, I have no idea.
I like it. So Frost Breath is very simple. You hold shift and you'll breathe frost, I suppose.
Yeah.
And if you breathe frost on somebody, it'll encase them in ice.
Yeah.
And
I'll demonstrate if you all want to watch. I'll do it to Kiki now.
Yeah.
You can also do it to multiple people if you look around. And then if you look at them whilst activating it, it'll put people in like a cube or a block of ice.
Indeed.
Well done, Stick. I saw
And
that. Well performed.
we can chain this into an ice
Well done,
wall as well, real quick. So if I Frost Breath on Chopper, I can then ice wall and use that to do a little bit of damage to him while he's encased in the ice.
I think Gale has a question. As water, how do you break the frost with ice?
Eggle, great question. I'm very into it. Okay, so for those of you who didn't see, Eggle asked a wonderful question about how to get out of the ice if you're water, and the answer to that is whip. Whip will actually break ice blocks, and it's very, very useful for getting out of.
Sorry.
That's just I don't know, Eggle. I kind of have to. That's how I know you know.
You will forever be equal to him. So if also another ice bender is using surge against you, you can then, and they freeze it to make an ice shield. You can whip through the ice shield and hit them. So and I think whip is the only move to be able to go through ice, to my knowledge.
Yes.
So you want to be careful if you find an ice bender, not to just put up your ice shield, because it's not always going to be working.
And yeah, that's pretty much the principle, the main concept of ice. There are a few more moves. I don't think we really need to go over them. They're pretty self-explanatory.
We're just kind of showing you the main
really
moves
just
you really want to use in a fight. Also, if you ever wanted to know how to do a move, I'll do it now. If you're watching, you just do B/B space H and then whatever move. So, for example, if I do water spout, or if I put water here, it shows me all the moves, and I put it in, and it tells me exactly what to do, how to do it, and what it will do once I've done it. So if you're ever struggling on how to do a move, just simply do that command, and it'll show you. Do you want to move on to blood?
Alright, blood.
Oriax wants to be blood a lot.
Okay, so blood, we've kind of already gone over water. I'll just demonstrate some of these.
Yeah, I'll stay ice.
Okay.
So you can use that on me. So you want to know, with ice, you won't be able to. With blood, sorry, you can't blood bend another blood bender. It just doesn't. You can't. It just doesn't work.
It won't work. Yeah.
So
you can, however, use blood grip.
Yeah.
If you get blood grip to level 5, you can blood grip other blood benders. But and then blood rip will also work. So there's 4 moves for blood bending. There's blood bending, there's blood grip, blood rip, and blood puppet. And we're going to start with blood bending. It's pretty simple, fairly simple. What you do is you hold shift on somebody, and then you'll take control of them. You can lift them up, move them around, and then you can click to throw them away. So it's very useful for
make sure you're all a blood bender as well.
Indeed, yes.
Hello, King. Can you create a
Um,
platform, please, King? If there isn't any, just kind of just wander around with water spout. Or maybe share one.
over that way. Oh,
Look, King, there's a platform right there with your name on it to the left.
see over there.
Go to a platform, please.
King, this is your headmaster. Go back to your platform.
Go.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. For blood bending, when you're throwing somebody, if they hit a wall and you're at the correct distance, it will sometimes do damage called kinetic damage, and this can be very useful if you're in the proper position. However, it's very situational. So if you don't have a wall around you, what you can do instead is I
Cios.
would show you. If you have, I'm gonna wait for my cooldown. If you don't have a wall around you and you want to do quick damage with blood bending, what you can do is you can grab somebody and lift them up above your head, and then very quickly you look down and click, and it'll slam them onto the ground, and they'll take a little bit of fall damage if they're an element that takes fall damage.
Yeah.
It's not that cheap, I don't think. I mean, it is what it is.
It
You know
is.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a
If you don't
bit.
have a wall, you don't have a wall.
It's a
Do what
little
you gotta
bit
do.
scummy, but hey, you do what you do to try and get the win. To try and
It is what
beat other
it is,
people.
yeah. So that's blood bending. And then, yeah.
Should we don't actually have many plants here. Should we go over there? Show them a bit of plant or
Well, yeah.
Distinct lack of plants, isn't it?
We can go to the other side for plant.
yeah. Alright, so, okay, everybody, if you're able to come over, come over to the land. We're gonna show you some plant bending now. So if everybody would like to come over here, please.
Plant bending basics.
Yeah. Again, this was supposed to be a basics, a new beginner class, but I can see a lot of you are already master water benders.
Probably already know everything that we're saying, but it's okay.
The idea of this class was to try and get new players in, but this is fine. So as we can improve, improv and stuff, and we can start to do some advanced stuff maybe.
Yes. Okay.
So is water bending just more than creating that vine monster from this show?
So,
Or is plant bending more than creating that
yes.
plant monster from the show? Right.
Yes, it is. What I would say is the main appeal for plant bending, at least for me, what it would be, is you have the ability to source all of your abilities from plants instead of just having to source from water. So if I'm on land and I'm stuck, but I see a flower next to me, I can use that flower and turn it into like a giant wave and move around very quickly.
Right. So also, as a plant bender, like you just said, so you can use a water spout, and stuff like that from it, and source from plants, which is very cool.
And if you go as plants, do you have access to all of the moves before? So
you do. You have access to all of the not ice. You only have access to water, and then you get another set of moves, another set of plant moves, which most of plant steal is slowing people, using like roots to slow them down, trap their feet, and tangle them, and whatever. A lot of vines and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the main attacks for plant that we can try right now for anybody who's still paying attention is sprout. When you hit somebody with sprout, it'll do a very large amount of slowness for quite a long time. It's very significant, and it makes it very easy to attack people and get your combos off. So to use sprout, what you do is you have to be on like grass, plants, nature, and you hold shift and you click, and it'll send like a little blast of plants towards your opponent, and when it hits them, it'll do a little bit of damage and slow them down. Very, very nice job.
So with the sub-elements, if you pick just water, you can only use water moves. But then say you use ice, you are an ice bender, you can then use water and ice moves. To fully answer your question earlier, Nact. And then say you're then a bloodbender, yeah. Say you're a bloodbender, you can then only choose water and blood. So no matter what sub-element of water you can use, it doesn't matter which one, you can always be able to use the water. The water abilities as well as the abilities of what trying to think of the word. What element you are.
Yeah. But you don't get. But the important thing is if you don't have, if you say you're a bloodbender,
Yeah.
you don't have access to the water or plant moves.
Yeah, you don't have the blood or plant moves, no.
Right.
If you're an ice bender.
Okay.
So as plant, if you want, yeah, I'll just run off like 2 or 3 more moves.
Yeah.
There's a move that offers more mobility for plant benders. It's called Root Rush. You can use it, and basically what you do is you just hold Shift and zoom. And it's a good little mobility option for water if you want to choose a more mobile play style and just be moving around all the time, dodging a lot of attacks. That would be a good move to use. And then, I guess last one we can do is Leaf Shield.
Yeah.
Leaf Shield is pretty self-explanatory. It's a giant shield made of leaves, and you hold Shift while you're on plants, and it'll protect you from a lot of different things. Yeah, well, I mean, it's
Also, I just want to say, so if there are any new people watching and you don't fully know how to, because we get asked, how do you bend? We get asked that a lot. So to do that, just simply, once you've chosen elements, like we said earlier, you do /element and then choose which one you want. Then once you do that, you can do /GUI, and it brings up all the lists. It brings up a massive list of all the moves for that element, and then you simply pick a move off the top row and put it down in the second row into a slot.
Indeed.
And you can do that whenever. You can change that as many times as you want.
So that pretty much wraps up all of the elements, all the sub elements as well. Are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions, or do plant benders take damage on leaves? Fall damage. That's a good question that I can't answer right now. They don't. They do not. I don't think. They do not.
So yeah, again, like we've said before, if this was really supposed to be kind of a basic class, for newcomers, but it seems like a lot of you already know quite a bit. So sorry if you didn't fully get a lot from it, but I hope you all had a bit of fun and stuff whilst doing it. Gail, I don't know if we're gonna do combos in this one. I mean, should we? Kiki, do you reckon we should, or because it's quite an advanced class, this really, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say we can wait for the advanced class. Do more like tips and tricks of how to actually fight with the elements, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's.
And why should you choose air? So here's my question: Not why it should air. Air is bad. No, I'm kidding. Why should you choose
Water is the best.
Why should you choose water over any other element? What's the benefits of
choosing
water over some element? What's the real draw for it? And then also in the same thing, what's the cons?
Yeah.
Here's the reason I play water is I feel like it's very. I have a flow that I have when I'm attacking. Water tends to be kind of slower than the other elements, in my opinion, and it just helps, like, as far as attacking, and it kind of just helps. I like the way it feels when I'm stringing out my combos. It's a nice flow.
Yeah, it is
Um,
also just completely up to you. It's also an opinion. Like if you
yeah,
if you feel like the feel of it, if you find the moves fun to use, it's just all down to opinion as well.
And what are some of the cons of using water over any other element?
You do
I'd
take fall
say
damage. That might be one.
yeah,
So
fall
you do
damage.
have to worry, which is where Surge is incredibly helpful with. If someone sends you flying upwards, you do then have to worry and spend that few little seconds, worrying about fall damage and trying to save yourself from it whilst they're still attacking you. So that could be a con.
And like Chris said, it is quite slow compared to other elements as far
Yeah.
as like the PvP side.
Right.
And I'd say it's also kind of confusing. Like it's one of the more confusing elements to actually like figure out.
Yeah, it's kind of a
For a
hard one,
newcomer.
really, isn't it? Yeah, for a newcomer, it's kind of hard, really, to really
With
get
the
good at it and
sources and
stuff.
stuff.
But yeah,
But once you learn it, you kind of just go through it. It's
yeah,
pretty.
but it's
It becomes second
also
nature.
you might not always if you don't have bottles on you, or if you just say if your water bottles run out and stuff, um, obviously and you're not near any water source, you don't have any water, so that you're not going to be able to attack, are you? So then you've got to spend your time trying to run back to a water source. Say if you're blood, if you plant, it could be alright because then you can source from the plants.
Right.
But other than that, you might be stranded. Basically, you're stranded in the middle of the desert, aren't you, with no water?
Right. Yeah. And so
And
you kind of have to manage those mobility stuff too.
yeah.
Go ahead.
And what's your what are your two favorite moves from the water series?
Just water
I'll let you go
moves.
first.
So water series. So that's element and sub elements.
Ooh. I think water spout, I'm not gonna lie. I think that's got to be up there just because of how fun it is to use. Just simply, kind of flying around and just. Yeah, I think that's quite fun to
Yeah.
use. Or swimming really quickly and being able to kind of not walk on water, but you know what I mean? If you jump over it and punch.
Right.
It kind of does this. It's quite fun.
I think my favorite would have to be I want to say gimbal just because I like how it just has a nice smooth feel to it, but I think my favorite is actually water flow because I just feel a lot more powerful when I use it.
Yeah, again,
Like I'm moving
them two
forward.
moves are combos, which we haven't gone over or discussed much in this
Yeah, I'm
episode or
sorry.
in this class. But if we do, if you do like this, and then we can definitely do a more advanced class in the future where we do implement combos and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
My favorite move is probably grip, blood grip.
Yeah. If anybody's
Very
trying to
nice.
run away, you grip them back.
Yeah. This class is recorded on the Discord on the YouTube channel even. Jesus. So feel free to come back and watch this great lesson on YouTube at any time, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post
Definitely.
great content and I stream the tournaments every Saturday with some people from the community.
Nice one. If you ever want to, because I was thinking, if you've enjoyed today, we could definitely do some more. Because I think other members of staff have also figured, have also wanted to try out these classes and stuff. So I know someone's wanted to do a firebending class. So if you did want to, message, drop a like and stuff. It just it then can tell us and show to us that you do want more classes and stuff, so then you really know how to bend.
Yeah.
If we hit 60 subscribers, I will force Chris to come on here and he will teach us the ways of the pig.
Oh, I don't know if they're ready for that though.
Oh, no, they're better be ready. Hat bending, yeah, we can do that.
You do a bit of lag
Our
bending too.
eyes would burn.
Or no, we can get Chris to help host the tournament this week.
Oi.
There it is. He was telling me yesterday how free he was this week.
But yeah, there's not really much else to tell you. I mean, like I said, we're probably, if we do another class, we'll show you the combos in there. Again, drop a like, just tell us if you want to do another class, if you enjoyed it and stuff, and we probably will be able to. But for now, for this beginner's class, that's basically everything.
Fab. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. Subscribe, like, comment your deepest, darkest secrets. I'm kidding, don't. But subscribe. Let us know how you found the class. Well, Chris deals with world permissions. Yes, like, subscribe.
And thank you for your time as well. Thank you for coming.
Thank you to Kiki and Chopper for helping us teach.
No problem. Thank you, Kiki, for joining me
I'm
as well.
very proud of everybody. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Y'all are all
as well. You're very
incredible
good.
and very talented.
Indeed, well done to everyone who came, and yes, absolutely. You'll look to hopefully do some more classes in the future. But definitely liking the video, liking the stream, and commenting will give us the edge. And let us know in the comment section, what is your favorite water or water sub element move? We've heard it from the teachers. I can't possibly comment because I'm an airbender. And
thank you, Gail.
I'm glad you love this video. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll end it there.
Alright, nice one. Thank you, everybody, for
Adios,
watching.
everybody.
Hope you all have a good day. Bye bye.
See you later.